The time has finally come that we give our NBA Finals and our NBA Finals MVP prediction. We all have our teams. Alan, you have the Lakers and the Sixers. I have the Celtics and the Nuggets. Jake has the Sixers and the Mavericks. So, boys, when it's all said and done, who will be the finals winner and the finals MVP?
All About the Balls podcast
With Mark Davis, Jake Winnikine, and Alan Tomasella. The NBA playoffs are upon us, and that's right. I'm Mark Davis, and I'm joined alongside Jake Winnikine and Alan Tomasella, and this is All About the Balls podcast, and we are in the Sack House, and we are about to give our projections and our predictions for the NBA playoffs, which will include the play-in tournament, that lovely, pesky tournament where some teams don't deserve to be in, but everyone likes to have a trophy to be participants in this nice tournament that we have. But before we talk any basketball-related activities, Jake, how are you doing? How was the weekend?
Man, it's been a long weekend. My 6-year-old's got strep throat, so it's been rough. 102 fever on over and over and over and over and over and over. But here we are. I'm ready to talk some sports for sure.
You gotta tell that little kid to stay away from them Lake County girls, man. You know, you gotta tell them to stay away. Only 6, but I know how Lake County is. I grew up there, so you gotta tell them to stay away. Alan, how are you doing, man? You know, how was the weekend? As the NBA playoffs are officially upon us, pretty much. We're less than 24 hours away.
Yeah, man, loving it. It's been a good weekend, man. Chilled, went to a wedding, man, and had a good ass time. Just chill with with the friends, man, and just enjoying life, bro. That's it. Just trying to enjoy this freedom that I got right now.
We could tell you were definitely drunk last night as you were trying to explain your bracket your bracket expertise over there, and you did not make any sense when we were trying to.
I was still drunk from Saturday. All right, that's what it was. I was still drunk. I think I had I don't even want to go into it, but I'll just suffice it to say I was walking to the big bar so that people didn't know how much of an alcoholic I am. That's it.
Oh, I mean, when me and Jake went to the wedding a couple weeks ago, dude, I was going to the bar, the main bar. I didn't care. I had a beer in one hand and mixed drink in the other hand. I just didn't care. I really did not care.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, great weekend. I mean, we talked about last night with Doc. Scotty Scheffler won the Masters, so it was good to see him back there. Good to see Tiger break the record for most consecutive Masters cuts made. I'm sorry, and then
cuts made, yeah.
Yeah, 24. So congrats to Tiger. You know, I think he's not going to win anymore, but it is good to see Tiger set record still at his old age. And Vern going out 40 years. You know, I think he's officially done with the CBS because he was done with the SEC when they were on there. So he's living legend there, calling the game. But no, it's not about golf. It's not about baseball. It's not about football, boys. This episode is strictly about the NBA. When we're recording this, we are less than 24 hours from the Western Conference kicking off their play-in tournament, and then the Eastern Conference will be on Wednesday. But when the people start listening to this, it will be literally hours away from going. So we're going to talk about the Western Conference first, the first round, including the play-in. So we're going to give our predictions on who's going to win the 2 play-in games, well, the 3 play-in games technically, and then where we're going to go from 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, and et cetera, et cetera. So whoever wants to start us off with your play-in games, you guys kick it off.
Yeah, man, I'll just go ahead and start off. You guys know where I'm going with it. There's been a lot of chatter on Twitter. Or X. There's been a lot of sports media talking about the Lakers need to dodge. The Lakers need to sit players. Oh, is it smart? First of all, we ain't built like that. All right, we ain't going to go out here and just give away a game, sit some guys or whatever, just so we can dodge the Nuggets in the first round. We're gonna go out championship mentality. We're gonna take it in this play-in game. We're gonna go ahead and slide ourselves into that 7 seed. We're gonna beat the Pelicans. Zion just kind of just disappears when he's on the court with LeBron James, man. For everybody else that he a bully, but LeBron since he's been in the league. So I think Lakers is just gonna go ahead, take that game. They're gonna get into that 2-7 seed matchup. And then I think what's gonna happen is, man, it's a tough one when it comes to the Kings and the Warriors. But I just feel like this year might be a little not passing of the torch, but I just kind of feel like the Kings are gonna take this game at home. I don't think that the Kings beat the Pelicans, so I do think that the Pelicans end up in that 8 seed against the Thunder.
I agree with you, Alan, about the Lakers. You know, me and Jake were talking about right before you came on. It's a loser's mentality to sit there and say you have to dodge a team. I get it. You don't want to play the Nuggets, and it sucks that the Nuggets came out of that one spot after they beat the Timberwolves, and they went down to the 2. It really sucks for the 7 seed, which is going to be the Lakers, in my opinion. I was telling Jake, the 4 games the Pelicans and Lakers have played, no team has won less than 15 points. It's been a blowout. Lakers have won 3 of those. They just won Sunday night. The Lakers are going to win the 7 seed, and I think I'm disagreeing with you. I think that Steph Curry is going to go lights out both games, and he's going to advance the Warriors to face the Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't think that Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green are going out like this in a play-in tournament game. I think if they're going to go out as their core, they're going to go out in a series. I think they're going to beat the Kings, and it's going to take a lot. It really is. It's going to take Steph Curry probably having 35 points at both games, and then they're going to beat the Pelicans. And it sucks because the Pelicans were the 6th seed. They had a chance to avoid this situation, and they blew it. And I think we'll see LeBron and Anthony Davis advance to the Lakers, and we'll see Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors with that core go up against the young Oklahoma City Thunder. So I have Lakers Warriors 7-8 when it's all said and done.
Oh, nice. I'm in agreement with you guys. I got Lakers beating the Pelicans easy. Zion's not going to show up. It's nice they got Brandon Ingram back, but it's going to be a blowout. Lakers are going to beat the hell out of the Pelicans. Lakers are moving on. And we got Kings Warriors. I got one final ride for my trio. This is it. And I got the Warriors losing to the Kings. Warriors got no shot.
Dang.
Over.
Damn,
Woo.
dude. He's saying that, but Alan,
Hot.
we've known Jake long enough. This is that reverse psychology he does.
No.
Yes,
not.
But I've seen Jake all year long.
Oh, he has, yeah.
Has been saying this is not it. This is not the
This
team.
is not it. Kings are playing some great. I mean, they're not playing championship ball, but they're playing some good ball. So Bonus is going to destroy us. We're too small. I mean, they should have got a center. I know we've had all these runs without a center. This was the season where we needed a center. Like, we needed a big man. Kevon Looney is completely non-existent, unplayable. Getting 5 minutes a game now. Kings are going to beat the hell out of us. And I got Kings beating the Pelicans. So I got Lakers and
that's
Kings.
a big one. Yeah.
I got Lakers and Kings advancing.
So Kings versus Oklahoma City. So, you know, I mean, we all have Lakers at the 7, but we all have different 8 seeds. I mean, Alan's rocking with the Pels. I'm rocking with the Warriors just because I can't picture them going out like that. And yes, they're not a better team on paper. I'll give you that. But I just can't see it. I can't see them going down like that. That's my point. I'm riding with the experience there. And then, yeah, you have.
Obviously, I hope we win. But I mean, if you watch the tape, we are just not a good basketball team right now.
Yeah,
it's bad. It's bad.
And I think that there's familiarity there with Mike Brown and Steve Kerr.
Absolutely.
Like there's they know what they're doing. Last year, the Warriors knocked the Kings out.
Kings should have beat us then, but they didn't.
And I think that last year what we saw was that last ride of that experience really taking over and winning that game. Steph Curry went out, lights out, game 7, took that game in Sacramento. Like people, you know, and I just kind of feel like this year is that year where the Kings maybe turn it on. I mean, a lot of people forgot last year, De'Aaron Fox was the clutch player of the year. I know it was, you know, the first time for the award or whatever, but, you know, De'Aaron Fox is a dog, man. And I think, like you said, I don't know who on the Warriors is going to take out Sabonis. I mean, I don't think Draymond can keep up with him. And it's, you know, the one caveat that I'll say when it comes to like this Lakers dodging or whatever, to me, it's just too much of a possibility that we end up going against the Kings in that second game. And the Lakers aren't beating the Kings.
No.
AD is like 0-10 against Sabonis. Like
he's non-existent against Sabonis.
Yeah, we don't want to play them. So why would you take a chance and do that when you could just win the game and get in against a team that you know you can beat anytime you get on the court with them? So
Yeah, you don't take an L against the Pelicans. I mean, that would
No.
make absolutely no sense.
Because
And-
you don't want a one game to decide your season. I mean, you just don't.
no, you don't.
No, and obviously we'll talk about it because it's next round. But as Alan said on previous shows, if you're going to play Denver, you want them in the first round.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk the first round. I mean, let's talk the first round. So, I mean, Allen has the 1-8 as the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Pelicans. He has the 2 seed. We all have the 2 seed Denver Nuggets versus Los Angeles Lakers. So, Allen, kick us off. What do you think? The 4 matchups now in the first round. What do you think is going to happen?
So I think that the Thunder, being the youngest team in the league, I really felt like there were some really experienced teams that can go up against them and really, really push them in the first rounds. I like the Pelicans against the Thunder because of what Zion is and what he brings to the table. He's just a bully against them, but I still think that the Thunder on the ride that they are, that city's going to be electric. And I don't think the Pelicans have everything that they're going to need to win that series. I do think that it maybe goes, I think it could possibly go 7 games. But I do think that it's the Thunder. I'm going to say Thunder in 7. When it comes to the Nuggets and the Lakers, I got it on my board, bro. Lakers in fucking 6. Lakers in fucking 6, bro. Let's fucking go. I think that last year we got the dogs in them. If you go back and you watch that Lakers series in the Western Conference Finals, yes, we got swept, but every single game was a fourth quarter game. Every single game was a fourth quarter game. And this year we don't have Dennis Schroeder to have Darvin Ham having him on the court. I think that in this situation, we've really found we've got a 750 winning percentage with our current lineup right now. 18-6 with our current lineup. With D'Lo, Reeves, Rui, and LeBron at the 4 and AD. We're 18-6 with that lineup. I think that it's our best lineup. You get guys out there playing their best ball. Yes, we're not going to say that the Nuggets aren't the best team in the league right now, but I do think as constructed, the Lakers have the best chance to beat them in the playoffs, because if the Lakers don't beat them, I do think the Nuggets go on to win the championship. But I will say that I've got the Lakers in 6 in this game. Clippers, Mavericks, I am expecting the Mavericks to come out and be that team that they've been the last 2 months. I mean, what are they almost 20-2 over the last 2 months? Like, they've just been playing absolutely amazing ball. I've got the Mavericks winning in 5. And then I also got in the Suns and Timberwolves. This Suns team is built to be a playoff team. They are built to be a playoff team. You got your starters in the game. You got KD. You got Booker. Booker's inconsistent, but you've got Bradley Beal. I think we can see him come out and make some plays. But I think that the Suns are going to take this series. I don't think, because it's all going to come down to the fact that Rudy Gobert is going to get eliminated from the series. He's just going to get eliminated from the series. You put him in ball screens, you put him in pick and rolls, and he can't play that. He can't play that game. Kevin Durant's going to eat him alive in the 2-point range. I just think that this is a series that the Suns win. I'm going Suns in 6. So that's my first round in the Western.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, I have OKC beating the Warriors. Like you said, passing the torch. Like you said, it wasn't kind of like that way with the Kings, but this is my way of passing the torch. I think Steph's going to give that quote-unquote torch to Shea, and I think that the Thunder are going to win in 6. I think this is going to be the final run for the Golden State Warriors, and maybe they don't get blown out every single game, but they try their little hearts out, and they go out like the old team they are with a fight, and then don't know what's going to happen with Golden State after this year. But OKC moves on, in my opinion, in 6 games. And I'm sorry, Alan, but I have the Nuggets here in 5. I have a gentleman's sweep. I really think that Denver is truly the better team. Like you said last year, you guys were in every single game going into the fourth quarter. And there's a couple big leads you guys actually blew in the fourth quarter. I'm not gonna say why and how it happened, but yes, you guys were there. But this Denver Nuggets team, it's different than last year. I think they're even much better than they were last year. You guys are probably on par with what you guys were. I mean, you guys, I don't remember how you guys finished last year coming into the play-in tournament, but I think it's a gentleman's sweep. And then we'll see what happens with the Lakers because there's question marks with LeBron James and AD. But for the purpose of this show, I have the Nuggets going on. And then I agree with you. I have the Phoenix Suns beating the Timberwolves in 6 games. I think that Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, they match up perfectly with the Timberwolves. Like you said, Gobert's going to be taken out. It's going to put a lot of pressure on Edwards here with Cat coming back. That's going to be interesting, but he hasn't played in a while. So how much rust is he going to have coming back? And then it's just Kevin Durant in the playoffs. He is different. He is built different. And I think he is a good player still. He's an all-time great. The Suns win in 6, and I have the Mavericks beating the Clippers in 7. Too much Luka, too much Kyrie. Not saying someone's going to get hurt from the Clippers, but Luka and Kyrie are built right now to get past the Clippers. And it's the Clippers. I just don't trust them when it comes down to it. I get it. Kawhi is good when he's healthy. Paul George is good when he's healthy. But it's James Harden and it's Russell Westbrook in the playoffs. And that's the question mark of that team is what are those two players going to do in their history in the playoffs? Give me Luka and give me Kyrie Irving to go there and play the Oklahoma City Thunder.
All right. I'm going to start off with the Nuggets Lakers. We know how this is going. I got Denver in 6. I got Lakers winning 2. That'll be a close one. Lakers win right at the buzzer. And that'll be that one random game where D'Angelo Russell looks like he's Jesus. He'll have 40 points out of nowhere and he'll have 4 the next game. But there'll be that one game that they're going to win and he goes off. But I got Nuggets winning that series. Suns Timberwolves. I think we're all in agreement here. I got the Suns winning. It's very weird with the Suns because like I don't think they were, but I almost feel like they were coasting because like every time that they have to win, they just look like the most amazing team that there is. And I'm just like, where was this all season? Like they'll blow somebody out by 30 and then they'll lose by 20 the next night. That where the game doesn't matter. I'm just like, man, it doesn't make sense. But I feel like when it comes playoff time, I think the Suns are going to kick it on and they're going to beat the Wolves. I think honestly, any team in the West right now would beat the Timberwolves. Like we all said, like they're too big. These guards are going to destroy them. They freaking Gobert is going to be unplayable. So I have them losing. I haven't been high on the next. I got them losing in 5. I got Suns winning in 5. Yeah.
Gentleman's sweep. Damn.
I can see that.
They're going to light it up. I mean, it's going to be like 30 for their 3 stars. Like I don't think it's going to be a match.
Yeah. And one thing about the Suns, to me, man, about the Suns this year was it was all about health. And Nurkic was one of those big things when it came to health. And he's been healthy. He's been playing all year.
Balling.
And he's balling. He's getting he's a dog down there for rebounds.
Yep. I agree. Next series, shout out to our only one Dallas fan that I know, Eric. We've talked a little about Dallas this year, but I haven't been high on them all year, but they're going to beat the Clippers. They are absolutely I think they're the hottest team going into the playoffs, honestly, right 100%. Now. They're clicking on all cylinders. Luka is just straight up balling.
Potentially MVP too. Potentially the MVP.
I mean, he's up there, obviously.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it'll be 6 games because I mean, Clippers might pull out 1 or 2. Kawhi has those games, but Dallas is winning that series. Like Dallas is hot. I got 6 games on that one. And this next series, I got the Kings beating OKC. It's over.
Yeah, I don't argue that.
If Kings make it, Kings can beat OKC. Obviously, I think the matchups are perfect. I think Sabonis has a field day. Fox has a field day. I think Kings can beat OKC in 7. But as Alan, I believe it was Alan, I think Alan said, OKC is going to be hyped up. The crowd's going to be fire. Like it's going to be an amazing series. I think those two head to head would be amazing. But I'm going Kings in 7.
And something that we haven't.
I think the Kings learned a lot last year in that playoff series.
Absolutely.
And The only thing for me about the Kings is I just don't know if they can get past the Pelicans. But if the Kings do get into that series, I think the Kings should be favored in that. That's
agree.
kind of tough. That's kind of tough to say, but I do think that the
They
Kings
won't
should
be,
win.
but they should be. They won't be favored, but they should win that.
Yeah.
I think Kings can beat OKC.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to see OKC because they haven't been like this in quite a while. So it's gonna be fun seeing them once again, having some home field right there, home court. I mean, and having the fans just into it. I know back when they became in Oklahoma City, they were some of the best fan.
Oh
one
yeah,
of the best
no, I
fan
mean,
bases. Yeah, crazy fan base.
that stadium is electric during the playoffs. So I mean,
I
I
agree.
think that everybody is looking forward to that situation. I mean, the Thunder being in that 1 seed now, man, I kind of feel like that city's is alive. But again, I think that the Kings learned a lot last year. You got Keegan Murray in his second year. He's developed into a 2-point scorer. He's not just a 3-and-D guy. You've got a lot of good pieces on that team. De'Aaron Fox is a dog. Sabonis is a dog, and I think that Thunder are going to learn a lot in this series, but I don't think that this is the year. If the Kings make it, again, like I said,
Agreed.
if it is the Pelicans, I do think that stadium is a big deal in that series. I do think that it gets pushed to 7 games, but I think that the Pelicans don't win that series just because, man, like Zion is just so. Is he gonna bring it? Like, I don't know. And I just kind of feel like the Thunder have the advantage in that series. But against the Kings, I do agree.
Well, that's great.
One thing with OKC, I do want to give a shout out. Chet played every single game this season.
Oh, man. Yeah.
After coming back from injury. I mean, that's major props.
And he had a good year too. He had a good rookie year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Wemby, this man would be the rookie of the year.
But rookie of the year easily, yeah.
We've seen from Wemby this year. Just shout out to Wemby. Like everybody at the beginning of the year, there was those question marks, whatever, man. This guy is bringing the ball up court and taking Steph Curry shots at 7-5. Like, and he shot a better percentage this year with step back threes than James Harden in step back threes.
In James Harden's best year.
In James Harden's best year. Like, we're witnessing like the beginning of an amazing career, and this guy's just
I read something yesterday that like for a second had me like thinking like, man, it said, and to think about it, this is probably his worst season. This is his rookie. This is his rookie year.
It's gonna be his worst year.
So I mean, like I said,
this is probably his worst year of his career, and his stats are crazy.
Wemby's probably going to win it. You can't argue Chet, but let's move on to the Eastern Conference. First round and play-in. We have the Heat and the Sixers playing for the 7. You have the Bulls, Raptors playing for that 9-10, and then obviously loser of that Heat Sixers plays the winner.
Bulls Hawks, I think.
I'm sorry, Bulls Hawks. I'm sorry, Bulls Hawks. Yeah, I was wrong. Sorry, Bulls Hawks. So Alan kicks off once again.
Yeah, I don't think that either one of the 9 or 10 seed matter. I know Trae Young's back and they got DeJounte Murray. I don't think that they matter.
Hawks are unbeaten in playing games. They're 3-0.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't. I think we got. I have the 76ers winning against the Heat. Embiid is crazy. What a horrible turn of events for the Knicks to have their best season in years, to have this amazing lights out season from Brunson. But I think they're just too beat up, and they got to go up against the 76ers with Embiid, which is probably the best team in the league if Embiid is healthy the entire year. I think they could have had a better record than the Celtics if Embiid was healthy the entire year. So, but I'll go on to it. I got the Heat in making the 8 seed going up against the Celtics. I'll start there. We know it's playoff Jimmy time. We know that this is that series for the Heat. But I don't like the Celtics at all. Joe Mazzulla, I don't like him. But something kind of feels like there's something missing from this Heat team. I don't know if it's the support off the bench. I don't know if it's I just don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but I don't think they have enough this year. Those two guys, Jaime Jaquez and the Nikola Jokic's brother, whatever his name is. that guy, they're young coming off that bench, and I just kind of feel like, Hero's always got his up and down things going on. Hero is a guy in the playoffs that doesn't perform as well as he does during a regular season. That is a track record that he has. And I feel like the Celtics with Drew Holiday and Porzingis or whatever, I think the Celtics handle business. I think Celtics win that series in a gentleman's sweep, 5 games. What's crazy is that everybody is dismissing the Magic after this year. I mean, what number 1 draft pick takes his team to the playoffs, to the 5 seed in his second year and is not being talked about? And that's Paolo, and he's balling right now. Orlando is got so much magic going on right now, and pun intended. But I see the Cavaliers, and I think the Cavaliers are really well constructed. I think they're very well designed as a team. I think that is a 7-game series, and I do think that the Cavs win that series in 7 games. Bucks and Pacers, man, I touched on it in the Discord today. What team goes 30-13? You fire your coach, you replace him with a Hall of Fame, quotation marks, Hall of Fame coach, because it's soon enough we got to start saying maybe this guy ain't Hall of Fame, but a Hall of Fame coach, and you are 30-13 and you finish the season under 50 games. That is an insane stat. That is crazy to me. And we don't know what's going to happen with Giannis. Is he going to come back in this series? Are they going to start playing him right off the bat? I don't know that. I don't think anybody really knows. Maybe he misses the first half of the series. But this Pacers team is actually a pretty well-constructed team. Yes, Halliburton took a step back. He was playing lights out. Then he got, at the beginning of the season, going into the IST, he got injured and he kind of fell off a little bit. But, they got Siakam, man. They've got some really good pieces on that team. I really like them. I kind of feel like the Bucks are going to flame out here, man. This is going to be a crazy one, but I'm going to go with the Pacers. I'm going to go with the Pacers in 6 games. If it does go 7, then the Bucks are winning. But I got the Pacers in 6 games. And then the Knicks and the 76ers. Bro, this is, again, like I said earlier, man, this is the worst case scenario for the Knicks, man. I mean, you got to go up against Joel Embiid. It's 7-game series, or they're long series, and I do think that they can push it. But if Embiid, he does have a track record in the playoffs. Let me just get to the point with it. I think that the 76ers, if Embiid is healthy the entire series, I think that the 76ers win that series. I'm gonna go in 7 games.
So I agree with you, Alan, with the 7-8. I'm not going to talk much about the 9-10 because I don't care about Atlanta or Chicago. I have Philly at 7. I have Miami 8. And I agree with you. I feel, as much as I was saying, yeah, Miami's going to get back to the finals, all the laughs, with the ha-has and all that. I just don't think we do. I think Boston, for the first 2 rounds, they're not going to lose. As much as I love Miami, and it pains me to say that the Boston Celtics are going to beat the Miami Heat, they are going to beat the Miami Heat in 7 games. And it might be the home team wins every game, but it's going to be a 7-game. We're going to push Boston, but we're going to lose because Boston is just purely better this year. There's nothing to try and make excuses. They are just a better team. I agree with you on the Sixers and the Knicks. I have the Philadelphia 76ers, but not in 7 games. I have it in 6. I think the Sixers are just purely better. I think Maxey is going to come out balling. I think Joel Embiid is going to be too big for the Knicks. And I give Jalen Brunson all the credit in the world for getting the New York Knicks to the 2 seed. But they're also only the 2 seed because Joel Embiid got hurt. Because if Joel Embiid never got hurt, the Sixers would be the 2 seed, and the Knicks would probably be the 3. So they're lucky that – I'm sorry, well, they're not lucky because now they got to play them, but they're lucky to even have home court advantage this early on at the 2 versus 7 because of Joel Embiid's injury. Joel's going to stay healthy. I know he kind of had a little injury problem the last game, but he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll push through it. And then I have the Bucks advancing just past Indiana. I think it's the only series they're going to win. I have it in 6 games. No matter if Giannis plays half the series or not, I just think the Bucks are just going to come out and they're going to play good. Dame's going to play good. It might be the only series that Dame wins with the Bucks because he could be out the door after this. Honestly, he might be gone. He doesn't look happy. He doesn't look peaceful there. He looks miserable. If you watch his body language, he does not look happy.
Man,
And
I
then-
don't know how invested he is either, because this
Yeah.
man went to the Bucks and then immediately went on a fucking music tour too. By the way,
I know.
he had a music tour this year. So
Well, like you said, you start 30-13, and then all of a sudden you're shit in the bed. So, like, I mean, you start off good, and he looked happy early on, and then now he doesn't look happy. And then I have the Magic. I have the Magic in 7 games over the Cleveland Cavaliers. These are two of the struggling teams coming in. One's 5-5, one's 4-6. And I think the Magic will steal a home game, and they'll win at home. They'll still win Cleveland. And I have the Magic winning a series this year. I have the young guns coming in there, winning a series, and they'll face Boston. We'll talk about them in this next segment. But I have Magic in 7 games, a tough series with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
All right. 9-10. Nobody in America except for those 2 cities cares. I got Atlanta beating Chicago, whatever. No one cares. Sixers Heat. I'm gonna agree with you guys. I got Sixers winning easily, and I think that Jokic, Luka, everyone should be thankful that Embiid was hurt because he would be the MVP of this league, and he'd be the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, and it wouldn't even be close. Embiid was absolutely on fire before he got hurt. The trend that he was on, he was clear-cut MVP. So yeah, those guys should be thankful. I for sure got Sixers beating the Heat here. I got Boston beating Miami. I don't know what it is with Miami. Like, just lately, like, it's not the coaching. Obviously, it's 100%. It's not the coaching. There's just no energy. I don't know. It's just like they're just not clicking. I don't know what it is. It's just I don't know.
To be honest, I'll tell you what it is. It's in this league, you have to have some star. I get it. Jimmy Butler's a star in the playoffs, but you have to have some star talent behind. Like, you can't just rely on dogs. It doesn't always work that way. Yeah, we've had a couple good years, but like it doesn't work. It's not a fairy tale. You can't sit there and be like, well, we have average guys that are going to lead us to every year because of our coaching. That gets old. You have to progress. We weren't a good enough team to just sit back and just be content with what we had. We didn't make moves. We should have got Damian Lillard. That's what we should have done. We should have got.
They need another star for sure. But and it's caught up to him. Like I said, like it's just a very weird vibe with the Miami Heat right now that I don't like.
Yeah, that's what the word that I was looking for earlier was, just the energy. There's something wrong with the energy.
Yeah, it's very, very weird watching them right now. Like I don't know. It's very weird. And to be honest, they had no business being there recently, but they were. Obviously, I mean, they were well coached. So I mean, that team. I mean, same roster they had, but they're not going to do it. Boston's going to beat them. Boston's a better team. And I'm going to agree. I got the Magic winning in 7. Let's go Magic.
407, baby.
I'm sensing a little bit of homers here.
Yeah,
I honestly don't like her. I'm not a Magic fan, but
I know you're not. I'm just saying.
I'm cooking with them,
grew up
man.
in the area, I mean, it's kinda,
you can catch me at a playoff game because I'm definitely going to one of the playoff games. Absolutely. I mean, I like obviously I don't Magic are my second team. I pull for them because they're the local guys, but I'd love to see them win. I think they're going to pull it off because the same thing with the Cavs. They are one of the hottest teams and they kind of flamed out, almost like the Heat. Like there's just that no energy. It's just very weird. Like Cleveland were on fire. Like they were such an exciting team and then it just fizzled out. So I'm same vibe. I'm going to go Magic. And I got totally opposite in this next one. From what I'm reading, I don't think Giannis is going to play at all in this first round. So if that happens, I got Pacers in 5.
Yep.
If Giannis plays, I got Pacers in 6. But I mean, Bucks are defeated. Giannis is hurt. Even if he plays, he's not going to be 100%.
Well, listen, the Pacers swept them this year, I believe.
Pacers had their number, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I got Pacers winning either way. Bucks, obviously, as you said, I don't need to touch on the whole switching coaches. Absolutely idiots. Like, I mean, that was just the wrong move, and they deserve to lose. you're 30-13 and you're worried about a coach. Like, I mean,
Man.
every team in the NBA would kill to be 30-13. You're firing your coach. So, I mean, it makes no sense. And they've looked absolutely terrible. They've looked lost ever since. Doc Rivers. Anyways, and I was talking this next one. I feel sorry for the Knicks. It's been a super fun ride, and I've loved watching them. I mean, Brunson, like, I've been riding him. You know, like he's freaking been balling. And I was talking to my buddy Anthony. He's a diehard Knicks fan, and he wanted them to lose that last game and get the 3 seed because he did not want to play Sixers. And I 100% agreed with him. I would much rather play the Pacers than the Sixers right now. Like, Knicks, yes, they've had a fun ride, but they're not going to beat the Sixers in a 7-game series. It's not going to happen.
Knicks are the Knicks are the biggest Heat fan right now at the moment. They are pulling hard for Miami to just pull an upset.
Because it's not going to happen, and like that's just the worst case scenario for them was to get Sixers in the first round.
Yeah.
I'll give Brunson 2 games. He deserves it.
Him, yeah. I gave 6.
I'll do 6, but it honestly could be 5. Like, Sixers are the much better team. I mean, I'm just being real. I'm gonna go 6 as my final vote, but Sixers win that series for sure.
Yeah, that's the Eastern Conference first round. Now we're on to the semifinals, so now we're down to 4 teams each way. We're gonna start with the West. Alan, pick us up where you left off, man.
Yeah, so I had the Thunder beating the Pelicans in the first round, going on to play up against the Mavericks. And I had the Suns going on to play against the Lakers. I'm going to start with the one that you guys know that I'm going to go with here. I just think that AD is too much. I think LeBron still has KD's number in the playoffs. I think that the Lakers as a whole, because we can lock in defensively. Yes, we haven't been a great defensive team all year long, but when we get into these games, like we saw it during the IST, I know nobody wants to count the IST. Technically, right now, the Lakers Hey, listen, the Lakers are actually 48-35, but nobody wants to count that last game. So, you know, the IST championship game, but it is what it is. I think that we're just going to be too much for them down low in the paint. AD has lived on the offensive boards. He's had the most offensive rebounds, most rebounds in the league, and he had the most putback points in the league. All right, a second chance points in the league. I think that that's going to be the difference in this series. Yes, Nurkic has been balling, but I don't think that he has enough to take out AD. And I think that the Lakers put it together. Lakers win in 6 in that series. That makes us win in we still won. And then we win at home. That's all we got to do. We still won and we win at home. I think that's what we do for this series. We take it in 6. In this next series, I think that we're going to see the big difference in experience, and all that, everything that I've been saying over the last couple of pods with Luka. I think we see it. And I think that everybody is going to see Luka carry his team to the Western Conference Finals this year. To me, man, the Mavericks have just been playing the most complete basketball. Defensively, they're playing great. Offensively, who can stop Luka and Kyrie? I mean, this team is just lights out. And I think that it's not really going to be that much of a series. I got it in 5 games. I got Mavericks in 5.
Damn, I'm opposite of you. I mean, I have the prediction when it comes to the Thunder and the Mavericks. I have it Dallas. I have Luka, Kyrie. Like I said, I'm high on Luka and Kyrie. Where they were at, they were like around the 7 or 8, and then they climbed all the way to the 5. And I don't know what the tiebreaker would have been, but if they would have actually tried winning yesterday and then set their starters, they could have been tied with LA and been the 4. Don't know if LA already had a tiebreaker, and that's why they did it, just because they knew they were mathematically in the 5. But
that series was locked already.
But it was locked. But if Dallas would have tied them, would they have been who had the tiebreaker?
The home court.
Yeah, I think that's really more is what he's talking about is the home court. But to me, again, I don't think that would have been a difference either way. I don't think it would have mattered.
But I'm just saying, like, that's just the point. Is like Dallas climbed all the way up from 7 all the way potentially to 4 if they would have tried last Sunday night. But I have them pushing the Oklahoma City Thunder 7 games though. I have it going 7 games. I think they're going to be swinging at each other. I think it's going to be a good matchup. It's going to push Shea. It's going to push Chet. It's going to push Williams. It's going to make the young kids learn to play ball with each other, and they're going to learn from it. But Dallas is going to be too much when it's said and done. And then, I know you've been saying all in the last couple of weeks that Denver does have a losing record against Phoenix, but that's regular season. And this is Joker. This is Jamal Murray, and Jamal Murray might be onto something. Maybe not regular season. Maybe not. They're not the star tandem as LeBron and AD or Tatum Brown. But playoffs right now, I trust Jamal Murray and Joker more than anybody. It's just what it is. They are, and maybe it's because of Joker. Maybe it's just Joker's too much, and Jamal Murray's right there with them. But I have them winning 6 games over Kevin Durant and that trio of Bradley Beal and Devin Booker. They show that the star power is not what you need to win this league. You only need 2. And then a good team chemistry with good coaching, and that's what it's going to be. The Nuggets will win in 6 games. They'll play the Dallas Mavericks, in my opinion, in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that I would say to that is I again kind of goes back to what I was saying against the Wolves. I think that the Suns are built for playoff basketball. Like they're built for any one of those guys can carry a game, and KD is gonna give you 27 to 30 points every single night in the playoffs. He's gonna be that regular. You need a bucket. He's gonna go down and he's gonna get you a 2-point shot. He's gonna knock down a 3. He's gonna do whatever he needs to do. I don't think that the Nuggets are the same team that they were last year. I think that they've taken a hit on their bench. I don't think that they've got the same bench play this year, and that's going to be the difference. Your starters on the Nuggets are really good, but the starters on the Suns are really good too, and I think that the Suns have a better bench than the Nuggets.
I wish the Nuggets could borrow some of those Laker bench players. They might.
Hey,
might be
10 deep, bro. 10 deep.
10 deep. Yeah.
All right.
But
all right. My turn. I got Kings and Dallas in this next round. Dallas is winning easy. This is where the Kings run stops. Dallas in 6. It could be 5, but I'm going 6. There's not much to beat on that. Dallas is winning that series. Let's be honest. But I'm going the opposite here. I talked about it I believe it was our last episode or the one before that. I said if there was a team that could beat Denver, it was the Phoenix Suns. And I'm sticking with it. I got Phoenix in 6. I think they're going to beat them. This team, as Alan's been saying, I 100% agree. This is a playoff team. And I feel like even during the regular season, when they needed to ball out, they balled out. In the playoffs, you need to ball out. I'm going to trust them to ball out. I got Suns beating Denver. But then I have Dallas beating Phoenix in the Western Conference Finals.
Whoa.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the fact that you have Phoenix in the conference finals, and Alan, the fact that you have LeBron playing AD in this round, I'm telling you right now, I know we disagreed. It hits harder on Jake getting that far. Kevin Durant is going to have a lot of pressure if he gets to the Western Conference Finals. I'm just saying, no, because it's going to show if you're built and you're there against Luka and Kyrie. No offense they should beat the Dallas Mavericks if they get that far. In my opinion, they should beat them.
I think that the series, the rivalry, the hate that Devin Booker has against Luka, I think that would be lights out. That would be an amazing series to watch. It's going to be, if that does happen, that's the series that I want to see. If it does get there, if the Lakers go out, I want to see Devin Booker against Luka in the Western Conference Finals because those guys just have a vitriolic hate for each other. I mean, and I think that it would be
7 games of that all day.
That would be a lights out series, man.
It would be, but let's move on to these conference semifinals. Now we're down to our 4 teams. Alan, kick us off.
I got the Celtics against the Cavs. I think that I think this is the series where you see the shortcomings of Joe Mazzulla as a head coach. I think this is the series because the Cavs are deep. The Cavs are that deep team. Yes, they were really hot. They fell off a little bit, but I think they can turn it around. I think the Magic are going to push them, and I think it's going to be a series where you see that special quality in Donovan Mitchell that he has, and I just love the Cavs up and down, man. As far as their entire roster goes, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, you just got so many guys that can come in and make a difference. And I feel like this is the series. I'm gonna go Cavs in 6 in this series. I don't think that they win in Boston in a 7-game series. I don't think if it goes 7 games, I don't think that the Celtics lose that game 7. But I'm calling this series in 6 because I think that this is where, again, the Cavs steal a game because the Celtics are going to have those up and down games where they just go out and jack threes up. And I think that the Cavs can steal one in Boston, and then they just got to win at home. They take home court and they win at home, and I think they can push it. I think they can win in 6 games. In the next series, we've got the Pacers against the Sixers. It's not a competition. It's not a competition, bro. The Bucks are just flamed out, bro. And like we talked about, like we're leaving them in the past. I don't think that the Pacers have enough to compete and play against the Sixers with Embiid playing the way that he is, man. With Maxey and Harris and all those guys. The Sixers are the better team. I think the Sixers win that game in 5 games.
So I'm opposite with the Boston Celtics. I have the Magic playing them, and good for the Magic, in my opinion, for getting there. Second round, I have a gentleman's sweep. I think Orlando will win. I think they'll win game 3 in Orlando. I think they'll get the first one, and then Boston shuts that shit down quick. And they come out there. Pablo will have a great game. Franz Wagner will have a decent game there. And the boys will be playing. And Orlando will be rocking. And good for 407. Good for the O-Town. But I just don't think Boston's going to lose. And I said that Orlando could play them tough. Yeah, maybe they do play them tough. I just don't have them winning. It's not a hate on Orlando. I'm just being realistic here. Boston is just too good. They're too good this year, in my opinion, to blow it this early in this part of the playoffs. And then I have Giannis in the playoffs. So this is why I have it 6 games, but I have the Sixers. Too much Joel Embiid, too much Maxey. Giannis is going to be favoring that calf a little bit. He's going to play hard. He's going to play strong, gritty. He'll get 2 games, but too much Philadelphia. And that sets up for a good Boston-Philly Eastern Conference Finals where those 2 teams can't stand each other. So I have that in the Eastern Conference Finals when we talk about that. So those are my 2 teams.
I'm going to agree with you. I got Magic losing in 5. Unfortunately, obviously, we'd love to see the Magic upset Boston, but the Magic, if Cleveland advances, they have a better shot at beating Boston than the Magic do. I mean, let's be honest. So I have the whole second round almost feeling like a first round. I got gentleman sweeps in both. It goes 5, and then the Sixers are going to beat the Pacers in 5. It's not going to be a good second round in the Eastern Conference. But I definitely got Boston and Philadelphia in the Eastern Conference Finals.
It's really the Eastern Conference. Like the first round might be exciting, but that second round, it just doesn't.
Second round it's going.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if I even gave a game. How many games? I think that the Sixers sweep the Pacers. I think the Sixers sweep the Pacers.
They could. It's 4 to 5 games. It's not going to be pretty.
Very possible. And Jake shot his load a little early here, but the Western Conference semifinals. Alan, I mean, you have the Dallas Mavericks home court against the Los Angeles Lakers. You know LeBron and Luka. Luka's a LeBron guy. I mean, LeBron loves Luka. We've seen it when they play each other. So this would be a great series if it happens, man.
Hey,
so still sticking with Lakers in 6.
I'm gonna steal a line from Drake. All right. What's a prince to a king? He's a son. All right. He's a son and he gonna get sunned. All right. I think the Lakers win in 6 in that series too. That's why I got it on the board. I even shouted that out. How many podcasts ago? Maybe 3 podcasts ago. I put it on the board. I said Lakers in 6. I think it was a football podcast, actually.
You've been saying, you've been saying it. Yeah.
You've been saying that for weeks. Yeah.
Lakers
said it all year, honestly, probably. I think
I'm taking it. I'm taking it. Lakers in 6. I think that we steal a game and we got to take advantage at home. And I just think that Kyrie has his thing against LeBron. That's going to be a really good storyline. And then again, Luka is going to be amazing. We're not going to have anybody that can really stop him, but you don't stop Luka. You just kind of manage him, right? You just manage him. But I think that it's Lakers in 6.
Yeah, I mean, I have the Denver Nuggets versus the Dallas Mavericks. Potentially, you're 1 and 2 in the MVP votes between Luka and the Joker. And I mean, what an exciting matchup it would be. I mean, honestly, I think the Lakers and Mavericks would be fun. I think the Suns and the Mavericks would be fun, which Jake's going to talk about in a few seconds. But I'm just too high on Joker, man. I just don't know how you stop him. I mean, Dallas is going to have to score probably 125, 130 points. I mean, that's what they're going to average. I mean, they're going to have to average that if they want to win. I just think it's just too much Denver. And Denver having home court, I know people say, oh, they're indoors, but playing out there in Denver, it still sucks. It doesn't matter if you're indoors or outdoors. It's tough. It's a tough city to play in. And that ball, it goes in for Joker too much. And Jamal Murray, I'm telling you, this is the series that Jamal Murray's going to show once again why he's a beast in the playoffs. I have the Denver Nuggets. I have them winning in 6 against the Dallas Mavericks. I have them closing it out in Dallas.
Well, we know my two teams because it's a race to the finish. As I tell my wife, I had to get my pick in there first. I got Dallas to the Suns. I got it going 7 games, and if there's one game on the line, I got Luka balling, and I'm taking Dallas to go to the finals. Just one game, you're telling me that he's going to score 50 points. Like Luka can score when he wants. I'm taking Dallas over the Suns in 7, and it's going to be the best series in the entire playoffs. Then I can't wait.
That would be.
Please give me that series. Give me 7 games, and we can go live game 7. Let's do it.
Fucking do it.
I'd be down for that. I'd be down for that. And I mean, you have them. So so the Western Conference, Allen has the Lakers bias. I have the Denver Nuggets, and then Jake has the Phoenix Suns. So I'm sorry, the Dallas Mavericks. So we're all on 3 different Western Conference teams. Allen, what's your Eastern Conference Finals look like?
Well, one thing that I would say real quick touch on the Western Conference again is that this year is just so damn competitive in the Western Conference. I mean, 10 deep, 10 teams over 10 games over 500. 10 teams, 10 games over 500. Like that is just an insane stat to me when you look at how competitive the West is. That's one thing I'll say. So that's why I think that it's very fair for us to all have different opinions of who's going to make it there.
Because it could be one that we didn't pick. The West is so stacked.
Exactly. Bro.
I mean, to be honest, if the Clippers stay healthy, it could be the Clippers. I'm legit. I believe that if the Clippers stay healthy, I think the winner of the Clippers Mavericks go to the Western Conference Finals. I think the winner of that beats Oklahoma City. I really do. I really have the Clippers beating Oklahoma if they beat the Mavericks.
There's just so many scenarios. OKC could slip in. Like if the Timberwolves have the right matchups, Timberwolves can go deep. It just depends if they're playing those small guys that are going to make them non-existent. But they have the right. They get through Phoenix and they have the right matches. Timberwolves can go deep. It just depends. There's so many scenarios.
Yeah. All right. So West in the Eastern Conference, I've got the Cavaliers against the Sixers in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think that's a good series. I think that this year has a feel to it of what we had with Jokic finally winning. He won his MVPs, right? And then he went on that run in the playoffs. And I think this year, all of the outside distractions have been eliminated and Embiid can focus basketball. Tyrese Maxey is a great player. I think that the Sixers finally get over that hump. This will be the first time that Embiid makes it to the Eastern Conference Finals, but I also think that this is his chance to make a run at that finals series. And I think that Sixers win in 6.
So I would love to see Philly make it over Boston. I'm just not there yet picking against Boston. I am a believer that Boston is the best team in the Eastern Conference. I really am. And I think that Philadelphia and Boston would be in a, like you talk about, Jake, the Suns and the Mavericks being exciting. This rivalry between Boston and Philly would be chaotic. It would be brutal. It would be nasty. I'm telling you, there'd be a lot of benches probably being cleared because I'm saying it's gonna be physical. But for some reason, it feels like Al Horford, and it's crazy to say Al Horford usually gets the best of Joel Embiid. Crazy to say, but it's true. Go look at the track record between the two. Al Horford owns Joel Embiid in the playoffs. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are going to show up this series, and it's going to take everything out of them against the Denver Nuggets. I have the Celtics in 7 games. Electric 7 games. And like I said, all of that fire that they have, all that electricity, all that energy, it's exhausted in this series.
Yeah. Jake, did you have the Sixers and the Celtics in the conference finals? All right, I'll wait until after you finish yours to say what I got to say if that actually does happen.
All right, so yeah. See the thing, yeah, Al Horford, he's non-existent. Let's be honest. And everyone's owned Embiid in the playoffs. They've choked every year in the playoffs. This is totally different. And the reason why I got Sixers winning. But I'll get there. This is the year. There's no pressure on the Sixers this year. Like, he's been hurt all year. They're a low seed. No one's expecting them to be there. Like, there's not that championship. Like, oh, this is it. They're going to win this year. No one's thinking that right now. Obviously, when it gets to that point in the Eastern Conference Finals, obviously there's going to be some kind of, that kind of pressure. But going in, there's not that pressure that they've had before. They're playing loose. They're playing free. They're having fun. And this is the year that he's going to make the finals. I got him winning in 7. It's going to be an absolute dogfight. And we're going to see someone get out-coached. Clearly Boston. I clearly don't care because I hate both of those cities, hate both of those fan bases in every sport. But this is the year that Philly finally gets over the hump and makes the finals. Because I feel like there's not that pressure this year.
Yeah, you touched on my point when it comes to this series. If it does happen, if it's the Celtics and the Sixers, you touched on it. It's the coaching. I think that we're gonna see Nick Nurse is one of the best coaches in the league, and he is going to run circles around Joe Mazzulla. Yep. I think that the Celtics are going to come out flat in 1 or 2 games, and I also have concerns about the Celtics bench. Like, yes, they have 4 amazing starters. 5 if you want to include Derek White. Okay, yes. I think they got really good starters. I just don't think they have enough firepower off the bench. And I think that Nick Nurse is going to be the guy that focuses his team and gets them over that hump. I think that's what the Sixers have really been missing over the last couple of years when you talk about the playoffs, is that coach that can get them over that hump. And Nick Nurse is a guy, we've seen him go on that amazing playoff run with Kawhi. A lot of that talk was about Kawhi, and not enough of that credit was given to Nick Nurse taking over for that organization. And he's going to come out and he's going to show this is the reason why they went out and got him. He's one of the best coaches in the league, and he's going to run circles around Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah, because Boston's going to win a game or 2. They're going to win their 2-3 games on talent alone. Mm-hmm. But when it comes down to that game 6 or game 7, that's when the coaching matters, the rotation matters. Who's going to sit for this amount of time? Yep. He's going to be out coached. The Sixers going to win that series.
And I think that the Celtics are probably going to win a game by 30 points in that series.
Absolutely, they'll win by talent alone in a few games, and it won't be because of coaching.
But I can see Philly winning by 25, 30 points as well. I mean, it could be like that. I mean, it's just the way it goes in a 7-game series. But
I mean, Philly did have a Hall of Fame coach recently, but I mean,
a Hall of Fame.
Yeah. But boys, the time has finally come that we give our NBA Finals and our NBA Finals MVP prediction. We all have our teams. Alan, you have the Lakers and the Sixers. I have the Celtics and the Nuggets. Jake has the Sixers and the Mavericks. So, boys, when it's all said and done, who will be the Finals winner and the Finals MVP?
Well, I'm going to go first since I've been going first here, and I'm just going to say it. Lakers in 6, bro. Like Lakers in 6. And I've got LeBron James winning his final championship, and I actually have LeBron James retiring at the end of this year. I think that his son made his choice to go out and make his own decision. And I think that his thought process of wanting to play with his son, even though he said he wanted to do it, I think that he wins a championship, he wins another finals MVP, he solidifies himself in that GOAT conversation. And I think that it is an actual argument at that point. Not even an actual argument. Like I think that that's that moment where Tom Brady hit that 6 and everybody was just like, all right, fine, he is the GOAT. And then he went out and won another one. And it was just, all right, the argument's over. I think that LeBron James solidifies it. We've never seen somebody play like this in their 21st season, 25, 7, and 8 in their final in 21 seasons. There's so many accolades and stats that go up against it. I mean, it's insane to think he's scored 25 points in 20 straight seasons. The two closest guys are Kobe and Michael Jordan, and they had 12 25 point seasons in a row. It's just, I think this is that moment. LeBron is gonna get this win, and then he's gonna ride off into the sunset.
Obviously, hold on, let me touch real fast. I'm not gonna make my picks. You're next, I know.
Very good.
But LeBron's too big-headed to not have a farewell tour. So for one,
That's true.
he's not retiring. He's got to have his freaking moment. I'm the GOAT. I'm the great. He's gonna have his moment. He wants his moment. So even if the Lakers do win, he's not gonna ride off to the sunset. Maybe he leaves the Lakers and does play with his son for a year because he got that championship. Pressure's gone. Just one last season, farewell tour. Who knows, something like that. But he's too big to not have his little farewell tour.
The only caveat that I'll say to that is I think that he's done a good job setting himself up in LA as an as an individual,
Oh yeah.
as a mogul and all that stuff. You see him doing a lot of things on the outside. He's got the podcast, he's got a show, the shop. I don't think that he has to have that farewell tour because he's still going to be prevalent in the basketball world. He's still going to be out doing things. His name's going to be out there. He's going to be having his moment after he retires. So again, yes, he is big-headed, but I also think that he's really set himself up to do something on the side. And if LeBron James does go off into the sunset, I could see it more along the lines of what Peyton Manning has done. Does LeBron get into a situation where he starts doing something like the Manning cast, and set up something with JJ Redick or something like that, watching games live?
He's gonna buy a team.
Well, I would say the difference between
that's the motivation, but I think that he starts setting up his involvement with the league afterwards.
His hand will be in it forever, absolutely.
Well, you get me wrong. LeBron's gonna have his hand in everything. He's gonna do stuff outside the game. That's not going to change. But I think, I don't know if you're comparing Peyton, how he retired. Peyton retired because obviously he got hurt. I mean, there was no way.
I know, but
he was just
right off
into the
sunset.
He was coming off the field.
Okay, yeah.
He got his hands right back in and started doing
stuff. Oh, he will.
Yeah.
And Kobe was doing it too. Remember, it was Mamba's Places, wasn't it? Kobe was getting the same thing. So I mean,
I love Kobe to death, man. It's too much. It still hurts me to this day to talk about all of the amazing things that Kobe was doing for the basketball world, namely for WNBA and for female basketball. And
shout out to Caitlin.
Kobe is also the first basketball player to win an Oscar too. And he just had so much going for him moving forward. He was just doing so many amazing things, and that was such an unfortunate situation, man.
And even with the NBA, so many players were saying that he would go work with them in the off season.
Oh yeah, he was.
He would be there at 6 a.m. to train them. I mean, he was doing so much, even just with players, and not saying, "Hey, look at me!" Like it was, like he was just doing so much for the game. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, he was all time. I mean, like I said, he had Mama's Places. He was doing what Peyton was doing.
We could talk about that.
Yeah, we could.
Obviously,
but let's get back. Let's get back to the predictions. Alan, you have your Lakers. LeBron win MVP. I have the Denver Nuggets. I have it 6 games. This is the series that it probably should have been last year. Miami did advance, though. We're gonna get what we had last year. What should have been. The Denver Nuggets are going to win in 6 games. Joker is going to average 28, 11, and 8 and win his second consecutive NBA Finals MVP. Plain and
Okay.
simple.
Yeah,
Huh.
I mean,
And the pressure for international status or star status for him is done. There will be no more pressure for him along the way. He's got his 2. He's going to have more than Giannis. He's going to have more than
yeah,
the
I
Joel
mean,
Embiid.
at,
As
at
many
that
as Hakeem
point,
did.
at that point, is Jokic building the case for the greatest big man of all time?
If
He
Denver,
needs
if Denver wins again, yes.
no. He's
Yeah,
not the
I
best big
know
man.
he is.
I
He
can't.
is. He is definitely. He's
He needs to
starting
do.
the
He's
argument.
taking another MVP. If they win the finals, he's taking another
Another
finals
finals
MVP.
MVP.
He needs to do what I mean. Yeah, he might have more MVPs than Shaq, but he needs to win more Finals MVP than Shaq. He needs to win more than Shaq did too. Because
Yeah,
Shaq,
I don't even think that he has to do that because I don't
either.
think that Jokic, he's already proved himself as a regular season player and he's got the MVPs. This will be his this will be his third MVP and it'll be his second
finals
MVP.
But how many dominant years did he have compared to Shaq, though?
Bro,
like true dominant years.
I don't think that
he's not even nowhere near done.
Yeah, exactly. He's not even nowhere near done.
We're not talking about Jokic at the end of his career.
But it took Joker about 6-7 years to show that dominance when Shaq was doing it since day one.
Listen. I mean, I don't. The part
we're not,
with Jokic
we're not saying he's there. We're not saying he's better already.
No,
we're saying that conversation starts. If they win again.
Yeah, if they win again, that conversation starts that he's the greatest big man ever.
Correct. Yeah, you can start making an argument because you still have Kareem. I don't know how many MVPs he won, but
that's what we're talking about. The argument could be started.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I mean,
he's started. The door opens, and now you're talking about Jokic being
be discussed.
Big man of all time.
Absolutely.
Then the pressure might still be on him. Never mind.
I think that the pressure goes on it only because that's what everybody else is going to want at that point. Everybody else that's watching is going to say, now it's time for him to solidify himself as the greatest big man to ever play. And for him, it's not that he's not going to feel that pressure because I don't think Jokic cares at that point. He's just going to be like, you know what? Hey, I'm out here. I'm just balling, guys. Like,
I don't think he's ever cared.
No,
he doesn't. He doesn't.
I agree.
He's just here making some money so he can ride horses back at home.
He said don't care. He said after he won, he said he just wants to go back home. That's all he wants to do.
Yeah. He's just here to make some money. He doesn't care. All right. So I had Sixers in Dallas. It's going to be if it is that, it's going to be an amazing series. I have Dallas winning the finals, but it's going to be one of those situations. Luka will be MVP, but it's going to be one of those situations where it can be argued that the losing team could have an MVP because Embiid's going to absolutely ball out. It'll be one of those LeBron situations. I'm going 7 games, and in a game 7, give me Luka.
Yeah, and it'll be in Dallas too because they'll have the home court.
Yeah.
And then they trade for Joel Embiid in the offseason. That's so fitting.
Yeah,
so fitting.
And New York Knicks need to get Embiid.
I will also say this too.
That ain't happening.
Like I would say this too. Right now, the Mavericks are on a run that from the last 2 months is the same parallel to when they won in 2011, when they won the finals in 2011.
Hottest team going in.
Yeah, very same run that they're going to go on. If it does go to Mavericks against the Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals, don't get me wrong. I think that the Mavericks can pull off one of those situations where we saw in 2011 where they just ran people off the court.
I mean, look what they went through. They went through Kobe.
They went through Kobe.
The Thunder.
Yep.
They beat Miami.
Yeah, I mean they went on a historic run and they were running people off the court.
And that offense that they have right now is dangerous.
And
this offense is way better than the offense they had back then.
Way better.
They ran the 2-time champion off the court, the Lakers with Kobe. We were coming off back-to-back championships, and they ran us off the court and beat us, I think, in 4 games. They might have swept us, or it might have been 5 games.
They beat the Thunder, who were 1 year early before their finals run. They beat the big 3, obviously, in their first year. And they were the team that shut down LeBron. They made LeBron have to re-identify his game in the offseason. He honestly changed the way he played going forward. He learned from Hakeem. Obviously, Magic was a big influence. But, boys, we all have something different. I mean,
Mhm.
I love it. I love it. That's great.
I think
This is one of the best, one of the greatest playoffs that I think we've seen in a long time. It is so wide open.
There's so much talent. There's not a clear-cut favorite.
Exactly.
Oh, it's
exactly,
amazing.
man. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited for this time, man. This is, everybody always talks about it. Basketball is 2 different seasons, and this is just going to be an amazing playoffs. And I'm so
excited. Because even as a Warriors fan, obviously I wanted the Warriors in it, but everyone knew it was Cavs and Warriors. Everyone knew like they weren't getting beat. Like right now, it's so wide open. I'm so excited for the playoffs.
Yep.
That's how it felt when LeBron was there with the big 3. We knew Miami was going to go every year. We didn't know who was going to go for the West, but we knew who the Eastern team was going to be.
Like this is open because I don't trust Boston's coach. I'm not calling them a clear-cut favorite at all. Denver,
but you wouldn't be surprised. But you won't be surprised if Boston gets there neither. It's the thing.
Yeah, but here's the other thing too. That thing is starting to creep up on Jason Tatum, man. It's starting to creep up on him in clutch time. Those stats are starting to look real, and he's a choke artist. So, just be prepared for that. Watch for that.
We will see. It starts when time everyone's listening. It will start Tuesday, April 16th with the Western Conference, with the play-ins, and then the following night will be the Eastern Conference, and then the final play-in spot will be Friday, and then Saturday, April 20th. Yes, 420 day will be the NBA playoffs officially starting off, and we can't wait.
Any big game sevens, man, I'm so down to go live.
Oh yeah. I'm excited 100%. For it too. I mean, we will definitely go live for big game sevens. I will test my we're going to test it off probably for the draft. I'm going to move my whole setup into the living room, so that'd be a good idea. Have the TV on behind it and just start getting ready. And speaking of the draft, boys, we're going live April 22nd, Monday night. The full squad, all 6 of us on All About the Balls podcast will be in the Sack House. And I have, spoiler alert, 2 trades inside the top 10, 1 including the New England Patriots. Not with the Minnesota Vikings, though, but a spoiler, they will be moving back some spots. Not going to tell you who with who. And I have a team going big for Brian Thomas, moving up big with a team in the early 10s. So just my spoiler. And then April 25th, boys, we're going to be live from 7:45 p.m. to probably about 20 minutes post first round. We're going to obviously kind of preview round 2, so we'll be live for that. Can't wait, boys. We have some big stuff coming up. Baseball Sunday night. I think myself and Alan or myself and Chris will be doing a back and forth mock draft where he has 2, I have 1, whoever it's going to be. We're going to try that as well. But boys, great episode. Can't wait for the NBA playoffs, too.
Man, so excited.
That's Jake Winnikine. That's Alan Tomasella. I'm Mark Davis. This is, of course, All About the Balls podcast. And we will see you guys later because we are out. Thank you for checking out another episode of All About the Balls podcast. We want to thank all of our listeners and supporters of the Sack House. You can listen to the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram @The Sack House.